Hey y'all, this is Mr. Riva. Sorry that I was having trouble with the Schoology conferences. Um, it wasn't letting me share my screen, so sorry about that. But I'm gonna upload this YouTube video as soon as I can and attach some questions to the work. All right, so let's get started here. All right, so hopefully y'all had a good Easter weekend. All right, hope y'all had a good 3 days off and were able to relax a little bit and get your mind off of all this coronavirus stuff going on. All right, so let's get straight into the lesson today, all right? And let's learn a little bit about stuff other than viruses, okay? All right, so today we're going to be going over what's known as symbiosis, and symbiosis is pretty much the long-term relationship between two different organisms, okay? They can be the same species or different species, all right? But it has to be usually a long-term relationship between them, all right? Um, so as you can see here, there's different types of symbiotic relationships in nature. Okay, there's different types. There's 5 of them that we're going to go over today. All right. Ooh. Okay. All right. So there's different types of relationships. Okay, we have parasitism, mutualism, commensalism, competition, and predation. Okay, so you can think of all the millions of animals on Earth. All right, most of them are probably going to have more than one of these types of relationships with different animals. Okay, so some animals might have a good relationship with some animals, and then that same animal might have a bad relationship with other animals. Okay, so all these animals have many different types of relationships with many different types of animals around the world. So let's learn about these different types of relationships. Okay, all right, so the first one is going to be parasitism. Okay, so parasitism, let me get the little laser pointer here. All right, I put a smiley face and a frowny face, okay? Because in parasitism, one organism's benefiting and the other one's getting harmed. All right, so smiley face benefiting, all right, and then frowny face, the other one's getting harmed. And so the two main examples of this one are going to be mosquitoes and ticks, okay? So these little dudes, okay, they get on your skin and they steal your blood, okay? And your blood's gonna have nutrients in it for them. So they're stealing from you, okay? Parasitism, the parasite will usually need some type of host, all right? And in this case, the mosquito is using the human as a host, all right? It needs that blood. It doesn't want to kill the host because it needs the nutrients and the space or whatever it's stealing from that host, okay? So they want to keep that host alive so they can keep stealing nutrients, all right, or stealing whatever they're trying to take, whatever resource they're stealing. Okay, so mosquitoes and ticks are very common examples of this. All right, tapeworm is another example of parasitism. So these tapeworms live in your intestines. Well, they don't live in them right now, hopefully. All right, but the way that people get these tapeworms is they eat raw or uncooked meat. Okay, so if you have like chicken that's not cooked properly, or if you eat sushi which has raw fish in it, then these things sometimes, not all the time, okay, but sometimes, okay, they might have tapeworm eggs, okay, or baby tapeworms in them. And so if you eat raw meat, okay, that has tapeworm eggs or a baby tapeworm in it, then that tapeworm will go inside you, okay, it'll grow bigger and it'll start stealing your nutrients, okay? So these things live in your intestines, they live inside you. If you are unlucky and get one of those eggs inside of you, all right, and they will steal your nutrients, okay? Oh, my headphones just died. All right, and they will steal your nutrients. So cool travel story of mine that has to do with parasitism. I went to Japan. As y'all know, I went to Japan in December for 2 weeks. Really cool country, really beautiful country, a lot of cool stuff there. All right, and really want to go back as soon as all this coronavirus stuff is over. And I was lucky enough in Japan. Okay, I'm kind of weird, but I found a parasite museum, and in this parasite museum, um, they had all different types of parasites. And I thought it was the coolest thing on earth because they had the actual parasites there for you to look at. All right, so if you have a dog, if some of y'all might give your dog heartworm pills, all right, this right here is actually the heart of a dog, and these are the heartworms that were growing inside of it, and they had to put this dog to sleep because the heartworms were taking over the heart, and eventually I don't know if they spread to the rest of the body. That's a good question, all right, but these heartworms were taking over the dog's heart, and they had to put it to sleep. So that's what happens in a dog if the heartworms get out of control and they keep multiplying. I don't know what parasite this was because I couldn't really read that sign right there that well, but it looks like some type of parasite taking over the heart or an organ of some other type of animal. Okay, so it was really cool seeing all these parasites. And the one thing I got to see was how these tapeworms start. So I think this was the infant stage of a tapeworm, all right? And they actually were able to get it out of someone or an animal, all right, so that you could look at it and compare it to what a tapeworm can grow to. So there was a guy who, like, he ate some sushi, and then a few months later he realized that, and okay, so there's this guy, he ate some sushi, and then a few months later he was trying to poop, all right, and then when he was pooping, he saw and felt the head of the tapeworm, all right, coming out of his butt, all right. So then he had to rush himself to the hospital, and the doctor had to pull this entire tapeworm out of him. This is the exact tapeworm that they pulled out of him. And I thought it was pretty cool because I tell this story to my students every year, and I was in Japan and I actually found the tapeworm from that story that I told my kids every year in class. So I thought that was really cool. So this is the tapeworm from that story. It's about 30 feet long, all right, fully extended. And they had to pull this out of the guy. He ate some sushi. A few months later, he started pooping it out, and they had to take the whole thing out of him. All right. So these things can grow very long inside of you. And so this thing was just stealing nutrients from him for several months. All right. So it's pretty crazy how big these tapeworms can actually get to. And it was pretty cool. I actually got to see it. I think it's cool. Some of y'all might be grossed out, but I thought it was pretty cool to see that tapeworm. So they start like that little thing right there. All right. And then they can grow into this giant rope essentially inside of you. All right. And they just keep getting bigger and bigger because they keep stealing all your nutrients. So pretty scary. Okay. All right. So that's parasitism. Okay. Remember, one is benefiting because it's stealing something from something else. Okay. And one organism is getting harmed. All right. So in the tapeworm case, the tapeworm would be benefiting because it's stealing your nutrients. And then you would be getting harmed because it's stealing your nutrients. All right. Okay. Let's see here. All right, mutualism. Mutualism, I put two smiley faces because in mutualism, you have both organisms benefiting. All right, so both are getting something positive. So let's look at the dog and the human. All right, the human provides the dog with shelter, food, love. All right, and the dog, okay, provides the human with love, all right, protection in case someone breaks in. So that's mutualism. They're both benefiting. Same thing with the bee and the flower. All right, the bee, all right, we'll be able to get nectar from the flower for nutrition, all right, for a food source. And the flower, okay, will get pollinated by the bee, all right. Some of this pollen will stick to the flower, all right, or sorry, some of this pollen will stick to the bee, and the bee will go around dropping the pollen off, okay, at other flowers and cross-pollinating. So it's helping the flower reproduce, all right. And so they're both benefiting here, okay. Another example of mutualism is this, I forgot the name of that bird, all right. But these little birds, okay, they go inside the mouth of the crocodile, all right, and they clean the mouth of the crocodile. So these little birds go inside the mouth of the crocodile, they clean the mouth of the crocodile, and they clean up the meal, all right. So the crocodile has like a free dentist, and then the bird gets free food, all right. It looks kind of dangerous for the little bird, all right, but the bird actually gets a meal in exchange for cleaning the crocodile's teeth. So they both benefit here. The crocodile is not going to eat the bird. So that's an example of mutualism also. All right. All right. Commensalism is the next one. Okay. So commensalism is a relationship in which one organism is benefiting. All right. And the other one's not getting harmed or benefiting. It's what we call neutral. All right. So that's why I put the más o menos face there. All right. So one is benefiting, happy. The other one's not affected at all. Okay. So that would be like if you had a friend that was a millionaire and he gave you $10 to go to Whataburger, all right, it would benefit you, okay, but he wouldn't really be affected. $10 would not really affect him that much, all right. So it wouldn't really do much for him, but it would help you out a lot. So let's look at the whale here. So these little spots, these little circles that you see on the outside of the whale, those are not part of the whale, okay? Those are what we call barnacles. And so these barnacles latch onto the whale, all right, and they get a free ride, all right? The whale is not harmed or benefiting from these barnacles latched onto it. The barnacles are not stealing nutrients. They're not a parasite. They're not harming the whale, slowing it down. So the whale is unaffected, but the barnacles do get a free ride. Okay, that'd be like if your friend gave you a free ride everywhere. That'd be a good thing for you, but wouldn't really benefit your friend that much. Okay, so barnacles and whale, that's commensalism. Barnacles get a benefit free ride. The whales are not affected. Commensalism. One benefits, one is neutral, doesn't benefit or be harmed. All right, we got two more. The next one is predation. So in predation, the bears, okay, are going to eat the salmon, or the sharks are going to eat the seals, okay? Pretty much in predation, one animal's hunting another animal for a food source. So they're killing the animal and actually eating the whole thing and hunting it, all right? So this is different than parasitism, the one we talked about earlier, because in parasitism, one's benefiting and one's being harmed here, and one is also benefiting and being harmed in parasitism. But in this one, they're eating the other animal as a food source. They're consuming the whole thing. Whereas in parasitism, they want the host to stay alive so they can keep stealing nutrients or whatever they're stealing from that host. All right. So predation is pretty much one animal hunting down and consuming another one. So that would be like if you went in the forest and killed like 20 deer. All right. That's predation. All right. The next one, the last one's competition. So this is a relationship between two animals that they're competing for food, space, shelter. All right. Mates. Okay. So lions and hyenas in the savannah, they're going to compete for food. All right, they're gonna have the same food sources, so they're gonna have competition with each other over food. So they do not like each other. And then these bighorn rams, all right, they're not competing for food right here, but what they do is they compete for mating rights, okay, with the females in the herd, okay. So they will actually clash and hit each other, all right, until one of them essentially gives up or gets injured, or sometimes even death. All right. And so the winner will usually get the rights to mate with all the females in the herd. So they compete for mates. Okay. In that case, a really cool picture of competition here is this bald eagle and this fox. All right. This fox actually hunted down this rabbit and had killed it, I believe. All right. And then this eagle came down and tried to steal the rabbit from the fox, but the fox wouldn't let go. The eagle actually dragged the fox up like 20 feet in the air, and the fox held onto it. And then eventually the fox was able to tear the rabbit away from the eagle and keep it. So that's a pretty cool photo of competition right there. The eagle was trying to steal the food from the fox. So that one's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So you're gonna have a video, or sorry, you're gonna have some questions on Schoology, and that's about it, y'all. Okay. There's gonna be some questions on Schoology over the video asking you to identify relationships and what they are, and that's about it, y'all. Okay. We'll have a good day. All right, and I'll see you guys soon. All right. Let me stop this. Okay. Wait, that didn't stop it. Stop share. No, that didn't stop it either.